reporting that restricted free agent Marcus Smart is, quote, seriously engaged, end quote, in contract talks with the Boston Celtics. Potential range of this deal is 4 years between $46 and $50 million to bring back Marcus Smart. So we bring back David Aldridge. So, D.A., how did this potential deal come about? We had heard that these two sides were separated a couple of weeks back. There was some flirtation with other teams perhaps, but now it seems like these two are coming back together.
Well, Ro, look, it's getting late. That's the bottom line, is that, you know, if you haven't signed a deal by now, you need to get something done. And as much as Marcus Smart probably feels like he would be worth more money, potentially next year he could sign a qualifying offer for 1 year and be unrestricted next year. Next year, free agent group, as we've mentioned, is very, very deep. He'd be competing against a lot of different types of players, and it might be easier to just make a good deal now as opposed to trying to make a great deal next summer. So the numbers, the parameters are still kind of in flux, but they are talking. It has moved, and there is some optimism that they'll get something done long term. The Celtics want to keep Marcus Smart. I mean, he's really been the key to their defense the last couple of seasons, and I think continues to be, and just brings intangibles that they don't really have anywhere else on their roster. So the question was, how much do you want to pay for that? And I think that they've probably come up a little bit from where they were before to try to get this done now so they don't have to worry about this going forward.
Now, you mentioned next summer and the players that are going to be available. One of those players is Kyrie Irving, who's currently on the roster. Earlier in the summer, he said he wasn't going to re-up. He said he's going to wait. How does this particular deal affect next year with Kyrie Irving, or does it affect it at all?
I don't think it really does. I mean, I think they want Kyrie Irving back. You know, again, and I think they'll pay luxury tax, and they don't mind paying luxury tax if they had to keep that group together. But there will be suitors. Look, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that New York's going to come hard after Kyrie Irving. I don't have any doubt in my mind that that's going to be a target of the next summer. And so that's, you know, the opportunity to go back near his hometown and near his family is going to be, you know, there's going to be some pull there. Now the Celtics have their own pull and have their own unique circumstances, which make them very, very difficult to walk away from, especially if they are successful next year and break through and get to the finals, as is certainly possible with that roster and that coaching staff and organization. And so that we have a long way to go before next year, but there will be a lot of people trying to get Kyrie Irving from Boston. They have a chance, but he's going to be in demand.
He definitely will be in demand, and apparently Danny Ainge knows what he's doing out in Boston. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Celtics. D.A., thanks for joining us.
Sure, my pleasure, Ro.
So, the Eastern Conference, you have the Boston Celtics who go to the Eastern Conference Finals without their two best players. You have the Philadelphia 76ers who are continuing to trust the process. And you have the Toronto Raptors who have just acquired Kawhi Leonard. 3D. What's going on in the East? How are you looking at all these teams as they stack up? Has the East just got a little bit more interesting?
No question about it, Ro. Let's call it what it is. LeBron James is finally out of the Eastern Conference. So now if you look at Washington, Toronto, Indiana, you know, Boston, all those teams are saying there's only been one guy to dethrone us 8 straight years. He's gone now. So how can I bolster up my roster, bring in some more talent, and make us viable to go fight? Danny Ainge, I'm sure he had a conversation with Pop, but does not want to give up some of them young pieces. You're bringing back Kawhi Leonard. Bring back Kyrie Irving. You get Gordon Hayward healthy. You have Tatum. You have Brown. I'm not surprised by Danny Ainge to make that move. I think he believes in what he has now. The question is, can Brad Stevens continue to preach team basketball? I think David Aldridge right on the head. They love Marcus Smart. Brad Stevens loves what Marcus Smart brings to the table. So bringing him back is very key. So if you're Boston, keep everyone healthy, you're feeling pretty good with yourself. Even though Kawhi Leonard goes to Toronto, if you're a Boston Celtic fan, you still feel good.
Very solid nucleus. They know how to draft. They know how to develop. But what about a team like the Philadelphia 76ers? Lose a couple of pieces. It looks like Ben Simmons is still developing. He still hasn't mastered the jump shot just yet, but he's still a very effective player, young. And, of course, you have Joel Embiid.
Yeah, how do both of those young guys take their games to the next level? Do they bring in another veteran? I'm happy to see J.J. Redick come back at a decent number because you still need shooting on the floor. Covington, do you continue to get better on the floor and knocking down the shots? If your core guys continue to work on their games over the summer, yes, Philadelphia is still in the mix as far as going deep as they can in the Eastern Conference.
It's going to be interesting indeed. Like 3DZ said, the Eastern Conference is about to get interesting. But how does this trade affect the rest of the NBA? We're going to talk about that and some more on the other side. Coming back, more Game Time. Last offseason, the Pacers and general manager Kevin Pritchard traded PG-13, that's Paul George, to the Thunder. Now, during a recent taping with NBA TV, Raptors president Masai Ujiri talked about the perils of reacting too quickly to a blockbuster trade.
It's amazing that we talk about grades. You just mentioned grades, and everybody is quick to make the grade like right after like a trade is made, and nobody knows, you know, like we all go into trades trying to get the best, and Kevin's is an unbelievable example, you know, like of the Victor deal. After that deal, I know even me, I looked at it and I was like, man, you know, like I could I have given him something better than that, you know, like type thing, you know, like and look at what it turned out to be, you know, like they realized something huge for their franchise. People have put thought into this, you know, like people. This is our lives, you know, like we dedicate ourselves. I'm not just saying it, you know, like, because I know these guys, I know how unbelievably hard they work. Nobody sleeps. Everybody is just dedicated to this thing every single day, you know, like, but right after the trade is done, you don't know what's going to happen in 1 year. You don't know what's going to happen in 3 years, you know.
So a lot of times in today's day and age, we hear the phrase prisoner of the moment. You hear people looking at a trade, oh, this team definitely won. But Uzir is correct. I mean, you can look at these trades the day they happen, but you really don't know who's going to be the winner.
Well, until those guys get into the system, put their uniform on, and, as we say, buy into the trade. And a lot of times when you're a superstar, you leave one team, like we know these two guys, they're a little upset right now because one guy wanted to leave, DeMar DeRozan wanted to stay. Now, after the emotions subside a little bit, guys get there, they learn the system, learn the city, and then you start settling in, maybe I want to be here. That remains to be seen with these two guys.
Definitely remains to be seen, but the thing that was probably most impressive, Masai Ujiri was able to pull off this blockbuster trade despite being in Kenya, working with Barack Obama, building basketball courts throughout the continent for his nonprofit organization, Giants of Africa. Ujiri, who was born in Nigeria, has made it a point to give back to his homeland throughout his career.
Like he mentioned, one of the hardest working men in our business. You're all the way over in your homeland, phones are ringing, taking a quick nap, but still taking care of your business, trying to make the Toronto Raptors better. That's why he's one of my favorite GMs in the NBA.
So you have the time change, everything's going on over there. He's trying to take care of business with his nonprofit, but he's still managing to make times to make huge deals.
That's why he's one of the best in our business. He's putting in the work, understanding his number one job is to make the Raptor organization better and make those fans continue to support.
They're definitely looking forward to next season, especially seeing they got eliminated by the Cavs the past 2 seasons. So maybe the Cavs are not going to be.
The Eastern Conference is back shaking.
They're not going to be in the way.
Yes.
Who knows if the Raptors are going to be the favorite? Make sure you keep it locked right here on NBA TV because we got it on lock. Everything. Ro Parrish, Dennis Scott. See you soon. You're enjoying your time in Philadelphia in the offseason, so sorry to disturb you, but hey, this news broke. We got to get your thoughts. What were your first thoughts when you saw Kawhi going to Toronto, your favorite city?
Well, I thought it was a great trade by the Spurs to get a 28-year All-NBA player and got him locked up for a few more years. And Porter is a really good player off the bench. So I thought it was a great trade by the Spurs. They wasn't going to get anything better than that to get an all-star player and a really good backup and a number one draft pick down the line. I thought it was a great trade. But Toronto, they swinging for the fences. That's my favorite city. Maybe Kawhi's going to like it there. They took a chance. Do I think it was worth it? Listen, they got nothing to lose. Listen, Kawhi, if he is all in, going to love that city. One of the best kept secrets in the world. But I thought it was a great trade by the Spurs, man. A really good trade on the circumstances.
And Chuck, we knew Pop was not going to send Kawhi to the Lakers and make them better overnight. And I know you're a big Masai Ujiri fan. What does Masai need to say to Kawhi to make him feel welcome throughout this season to possibly try to keep him for future?
Well, I think he's probably the most underrated GM in the league. If you go back and look what he's done, drafting players and making trades, he's made Toronto a perennial first place Eastern Conference team. They haven't been able to get past the Cavs, but they've been one of the elite teams in basketball for the last X amount of years. It just depends on the why I want to go to LA or not. I mean, I'm not sure if there's anything that Masai can do. But I'm saying he can. He only got it for 1 year. But if he wants to go to LA, clearly he's going to go to LA. There was no way. I told people a month ago, the Spurs are not going to trade Kawhi Leonard to the Lakers and have to play against him and LeBron for the next 5 years. So that was never going to happen. But, man, Toronto went for it. I give them credit. But, listen, I like what the Spurs did. DeMar is one of the best players in the world. And, I also think, they're one of the teams in the Western Conference. I think Houston came back to the pack losing Trevor Ariza. I think Oklahoma City is going to be better without Carmelo. I think the Timberwolves are going to be pretty good. And I think the Spurs are right there in that mix. And then the Lakers are right there somewhere.
So you mentioned the Lakers, so I have to get your thoughts because it doesn't seem like the way the roster is constructed right now that the Lakers are going to compete for a championship. We all know that things could change, but last season we saw Paul George openly want to go to the Lakers. The Lakers don't make the move to get Paul George. Now, essentially, the Lakers find themselves in a very similar situation with a player that says they want to go to Los Angeles, but the Lakers didn't necessarily make all the moves to acquire him. So where are the Lakers sitting at right now?
I think they're the 5 or 6 seed in the Western Conference. I don't think they're definitely not contenders, but I think you can say that probably like they're around 5 or 6 in my opinion. I mean, LeBron's great, but they don't have a lot to go with him. I mean, I think there's some elite teams in the West. The West is going to be a dogfight, and I don't think the Lakers are a contender.
And Chuck, now with TNT having the Eastern Conference next year in the playoffs, how happy will you be if Toronto makes it back to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Well, I think what's going to be interesting, it's a 3-team dogfight between Toronto, Boston, and Philly. I think that's going to be, it's going to be a dogfight. I'm going to enjoy any of those 3 cities. Now, you know that. Boston is just an hour flight from Philly, so I can stay at my house. If Philly gets there, I can stay at my house. And Toronto is one of my favorite cities. So those are the 3 elite teams in the Eastern Conference. So it's going to work out good for us. I tell you what's going to be interesting is Boston. Because, I don't know if they have enough basketballs to go around. I mean, they got a lot of talent, man. They got a lot of talent. But it's not going to be easy to just put 2 all-star players back out there and everything's going to work perfect. With Jaylen Brown and Tatum, man, they have terrific years. I don't think they want to stand around and watch Kyrie and Gordon just score all the points. They just stand around. So, and same thing with Al Horford. It's going to be very interesting with all that talent they got in Boston, how they make it work.
Hey, Chuck, well, thanks for joining us. I know you're enjoying your offseason in the city of brotherly love, and, you're looking forward to the Eastern Conference Finals. But just enjoy your offseason in the meantime playing golf.
Hey, listen, there's nobody better at free time than Charles Wayne Tucker.
Having Charles is always great. And then there's NBA Twitter, which is great as well.
Good morning.
Good morning. Donovan Mitchell, of course, shocked. The NBA offseason is awesome. We get a Legends Thoughts up next. Isaiah Thomas joins Game Time.